Hello everyone, welcome to the When at Work podcast with host Julian Lee. Today we're joined by Lindsay Barnett. Everything went smoothly. There's nothing to see here. We're going to play Jeopardy. Loading up the board. Lindsay, the categories are games, it's magic, money, New York City, potpourri and nature. What would you like to kick things off?
I will take games for 100, Julian.
Games for 100. Chicken Out is a board game based on the riddle, why did the chicken do this?
Cross the road.
That's a bit of a softball, but it is a $100 question.
I'll take it.
They're supposed to be easy. You're in control. What would you like?
Okay.
More games or something else?
Yeah, let's go with games. More games, please.
Games are fun. Games for 200. In the Batman game, you join Batman to fight crime in this city on a glow-in-the-dark board.
Julian, I think, what is Gotham?
Gotham, yes. I always get mixed up with Metropolis, which is Spider-Man? Superman, yeah. What's the Spider-Man one?
New York City, I think.
Is it? Oh, it's just New York. There you go.
Yeah, I think he's just in New York.
Well, what would you like next?
Let's keep going with games, if that's not too boring.
Games? No, it's not boring. Milton Bradley calls its game of chutes and these an exciting up and down game for little people.
Oh, Julian, what is ladders?
Well, I just learned something because we call it snakes and ladders in Australia.
Yeah.
So
is it ladder? Oh, chutes and ladders.
Yeah, chutes and ladders. You got it.
Okay.
And it's not just for little people, it's for ordinary sized people as well.
Yes.
All right. Let's do games for 400. The apologetic name of Parker Brothers Slide Pursuit game. Oh, I remember this one. And I think it's got a little bubble with dice.
Is it Boggle?
It's like that, but think of apologetic.
Oh. Sorry?
Yes, that's the one we're looking for. Did you just guess that from Apology and you have no idea of the game?
No, I've played Sorry. I remember being like, sorry.
This was before devices. You would get these things out if you're on a holiday somewhere with your family and you'd play Monopoly, Sorry, and you thought they were the greatest games ever. If I got them out now, my kids would just sit there for like 8 seconds.
This is boring.
Yeah,
yes,
boring.
I know.
I need something online. Thank you.
Yes.
To win this game, named for an avuncular rabbit, you have to be first to reach Dr. Possum's house. If I knew what avuncular meant, is that something to do with language, speech, ability to speak? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I was trying to think
rabbit.
if it was. It's not an Alice in Wonderland reference, right?
Because I don't know that one. It's definitely not, Bugs Bunny or Roger Rabbit or anything like that. They're the only rabbits I can think of. Or let's go. We don't know Dr. Possum's house either. So if you go Alice in Wonderland, I would say that's a good guess, even though it's cool.
Or it could be. Is it Winnie the Pooh? No.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not really up to date with that one.
I don't know.
I know the donkey.
All right. I guess I will move on, I guess. Well, I didn't get to 100.
The answer was Uncle Wiggity.
Okay, I do not know that one at all.
This might be from the 80s, I would say, and it's probably no longer in production. Well, categories left is It's Magic, Money, New York City, Potpourri, and Nature. What would you like?
Let's try New York City.
New York City for 100, says Lindsay. If you want to know who's buried in this president's tomb, you can find out in Riverside Park.
Gosh, I don't know, but I'm going to guess Roosevelt.
Good answer. It's got to be one of the dead ones, that's for sure. It is actually Grant's tomb. One of the lesser-known presidents. What was his first name? I've never heard of this person.
Ulysses S. Grant, I think.
Oh, Ulysses Grant. No, never heard. It must be one of the real old ones, especially with that first name. All right, let's do New York for 200. Luxury cruise lines depart from docks along this river on Manhattan's west side. Well, it's just the river.
What is Hudson?
Hudson, yeah, that's the New York River.
That's my son's middle name.
Oh, that's a nice name. Hudson River.
Yeah.
Don't know if I'd swim in the Hudson. Is it?
No.
No, it's a bit nasty.
You don't want
Okay. What would you like next, Lindsay?
Let's actually try nature for 100.
Nature for 100. This flower has been grown since ancient times for its foliage, fragrance, and hips.
What is rose?
Rose is correct. Well done, Lindsay. Let's have a look. What are you on? You're on 1,300 points. You're doing very well. Haven't...
Okay.
Well, I haven't jumped in, to be honest, but...
okay.
Yeah,
do you want to?
No. We'll see how we go. If you don't get it, I'll jump in.
All right. Let's stick with the 100 level. What is money for 100, please?
Money for 100. West African country in whose mountains you could spend leones. It's a currency. West Africa. What have we got in West Africa? I think we got like Kenya.
Kenya's East Africa.
Oh, there you go. I don't know. Would South Africa be
Sierra Leone?
West Africa? We're in money. West African country whose mountains you could spend leones in.
What is Sierra Leone?
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Sierra
Leone is correct. Logic.
Oh. All right, let's go with It's Magic for 100.
It's Magic for 100. This trademarked felt tip pen was the first of its kind when introduced in the 1920s. Felt tip. Oh, what was the felt tip? I know what I think. I don't know if it still is that brand. It's not the Bic, because that's the ball.
Oh, that was what I was going to guess.
And we call them biros down here. But the I always thought the felt tip pen was a Pilot. Do you have those?
I don't, yes, we do.
Let's take a look.
Oh gosh,
you're going to be suspicious.
I am super stumped by this one.
Oh no, just a magic marker, the old magic marker. Oh, we're in the magic category. That's why we should.
Oh,
yes. So it's important to pay attention to the category, which I always forget to do.
Yes.
Well, now we know where we are. Let's do another one. It's magic.
Okay.
LA Lakers superstar from the 80s.
Who is Magic Johnson?
Magic Johnson is correct. Well done. He played up until the 90s, I think, as well.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Early 90s. And he's
a big
all those restaurants. I ate in a restaurant in Inglewood called TGIF or something.
Oh, TGI Fridays.
And they were and there was something like it said Magic Johnson's. I don't know if I remember that correctly, but I think he had a whole bunch of restaurants as well.
Yeah, he's got quite a business.
He's hustling, yeah. Made a good comeback. I didn't even think he would be around, but because he was the first person that I knew of that had HIV and just survived.
Yeah.
So obviously, we turned the corner there with the medicines. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, what are we doing? It's magic. Money.
Should we try potpourri? We'll hit all of the boards.
Let's hit them all. Potpourri.
Okay.
For 100 students who don't want to dissect a real one of these can order a cloth one named Ribbit.
What is a frog?
Did you do that in high school, Lindsay?
I did.
Yeah, we did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no, we didn't. We did a rat. And I don't know if they would still do that. I don't know. It seems would upset people.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
Well,
all right. What should we do?
Let's do potpourri again. Let's see what it comes up with.
Potpourri 200, which is like a mixed bag. In flowers, the anther is part of the stamen in which this is produced.
What is pollen?
Pollen. I was going to say it will make you sneeze, but that might be it. might be a bit too easy. Well done. You're doing very well. You have got just about every question I've given you, I think. Except for
Minus the 500. I think I need to stay at the lower levels.
Yeah, well, we're running out of lower levels. We're heading into the middle
Okay.
level. What would you like?
Let's go with nature for 200.
Nature for 200. It'll run if there's danger or if cornered, kick out, but will not, as legends say, bury its head.
What is an ostrich?
An ostrich. So they don't actually bury their head. Why do we come up with these things?
I don't know. I use that term all the time.
Yeah. Oh, well. We got money for 200. Should we do that one? I think let's do that.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I want to keep it clean. Besides the Balboa, this currency is also legal tender in Panama.
What is a dollar?
The US dollar is correct. Well done.
All right.
Is Panama in Central America?
Is it, sorry,
Is
in
it
Central America?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Because I know that they do in like El Salvador and stuff. They use US dollars exclusively.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Almost exclusively.
Yeah.
All right. What should we do? We got It's Magic Money, New York City, Potpourri, and Nature.
We'll just go left to right. Let's do It's Magic.
It's Magic, 300. Invented in the 17th century, it was a predecessor of the modern slide projector.
Oh, gosh.
I remember the slide projector in school. That's how old I am. Did you have those? You probably didn't, did you? You had a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did it work? It was like a photograph, photocopied onto a clear sheet of. And you
Is it a mirror? Is it a mirror?
Good answer, because it definitely had one. And you're saying 17th century. I'm going to go with periscope, because it had a periscope in it. Like, no, not a periscope.
It like reflected.
Yeah, what do you call that? And I think it's a periscope. And you could look around corners and stuff. Whatever that thing is, I don't know what it's called.
All right.
It is called a magic lantern. Oh, okay. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, we're in magic again. Oh, my God. See ya.
I know. I guess everything starts with magic. All right, let's go with money for 300.
Money for 300. In 1967, Marie Curie was honored on a 10 zloty piece by her native country. Madame Curie, who was the lady that kind of discovered X-rays, I think.
Yeah, I think the radio, like something radioactive.
Yeah, using the radiation.
Yeah.
And where was she from, Marie Curie?
I don't know. Was she from Czechoslovakia? I don't know what if it was, I don't know what.
I think she was French.
Oh, okay.
Because you were closer to me. Poland, she was from.
Oh, Poland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what the zloty must have meant. It must have been a currency or something.
Yeah.
I think they don't even use anymore.
Mm.
New York City for 300. The Promenade, the Sullivan Street Theatre, and the Cherry Lane Theatre, among others.
What is Broadway?
Okay. I was going to say, it's not even a question, is it? It's, well, it's actually off Broadway. That's a bit. I mean, that's. I'll give you that one, yeah. So what is the deal? Off Broadway is like, it's not quite a smash hit, and then if it is a smash hit, they move it onto Broadway.
I think that's how it works. A lot of shows start off Broadway, and then Broadway is when it's like the big investment,
big one, like Cats or something. Yeah. And what street is actual Broadway? Is it just called Broadway?
I'm trying to think if all the theaters are actually on Broadway. They must be on Broadway.
There is a street. Is it in Manhattan?
Yeah, no, there is an actual street Broadway. Yeah, in Manhattan. Yeah,
interesting. It must be how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing all the theaters in kind of in a row, but yeah.
Did you go to see anything?
Oh yeah, I've seen a bunch of shows. Thankfully, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely on the bucket list.
Yes, it's wild.
I,
It's like so many people everywhere because it's off of Times
yeah.
Square.
New York I would feel like I'm in a movie or something, a Martin Scorsese movie.
Yes.
I want to go down to what's that where they all the gangsters used to be like oh, what's his name? The Teflon Don.
Oh, I don't know.
You know, the guy with the perfect hair and he kept getting away with it. Gotti.
Oh.
It's called something street in Little Italy. Mulberry Street. Mulberry Street.
Oh,
Yeah, I want to
okay.
go there and have a coffee with all the gangsters. I
I don't
think
know if it
I'll
was big
stand
enough
out
in
a
the
little bit,
movie.
yeah. All right, let's continue on. This question is potpourri for 300. The 12 divisions of a horoscope are known by this homey name.
Signs?
They are, aren't they? Oh, no, they want to have houses. I got my doubts. I think your
No.
one makes more sense.
Yeah. No, I got it.
Nature for 300, and then we'll do a 500, then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Of all the toucans, the toko has the biggest one of these.
What is a beak?
A beak. The Fruit Loops animal. That's the only way I know what a toucan is. All right, let's do a 500 and then we'll wrap it up. What would you like?
500. What did we just do?
No, nature we did. And then we did
Okay.
New York.
500 nature.
500 nature. This could be difficult. Legend says this flower's name comes from the last words of a knight who drowned picking one for his lady. So, if you think
Must
of
be water.
knights, well, who are the famous knights? There's only
Uh,
one I can think of is the guy that pulled the sword out of the rock.
Lancelot,
Oh, well,
right?
him. No, I was thinking King Arthur. So there's two, Lancelot and King
Huh.
Arthur.
Huh.
They would be the only ones that are famous enough to have a flower named. Maybe King Arthur, Sir Lancelot. They're the only ones I know.
And it's funny because I was thinking, I was thinking two different things. One, like lily pads are like in the water, like they grow in the water. I don't know what else
Oh,
is
but
in,
it's this. It's the last words of a knight. Like he must like something to do with forever.
but
What's
maybe it is a lily pad. Maybe she was
help
lily,
me?
or weeping willow was the other
Lily
one I
pad,
was thinking.
lily pad,
I
weeping
don't
willow.
know.
All right, let's go with one of those.
What do we get?
Forget me not. Oh, he said, forget me not as he
Oh,
drowned. How romantic.
oh.
I would have said, throw me a rope. All right, well, you've played very well there, Lindsay. You got 2,600. You got probably about 90% of them correct, I think, which is a very high percentage. I
Wow.
think you would have won if we had actual competitors in this round.
I obviously lucked out here because Jeopardy is not usually my game.
Well, maybe you're actually good at trivia and you didn't even know it.
Who knew? We uncovered a hidden strength today, maybe.
Well done. All right, now let's tell me about, you've written a book,
Yes.
Working Hell to Working Well. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So, really, what I tried to do is be a bit of a curator and a guide for folks of being able to just start taking action on making their, work-life harmony better. So that's really what the goal is. Oh,
And what did you do that led up to, so you're a coach now, and what did
yeah.
you do before that, and how long did it take you to sort of get into coaching?
Yeah. So I've generally been in human resources for much of my career, a couple decades now. And I shifted into coaching in the latter part of it. And a lot of the book, actually, the genesis of the book stems from this time period after the pandemic, or during the pandemic, really, when I shifted to part-time and started realizing that I was a workaholic and that I needed to come up with new ways of working. But the tie-in with coaching is that I found that a lot of the similar practices that my clients were using, even though they weren't part-time, were really similar to the ways that I was, battling workaholism and how I could really support myself in creating better work-life harmony. So that's a little bit of, where the coaching ties into, the
Yes,
book and all the things I learned, I tried to share with all of you.
it's amazing that COVID was such a radical kind of like the brakes got slammed on, and everybody,
Yeah.
you just were just sitting there thinking about things like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do something different, and
Yeah.
what are some of the things that people are coming to you with problems that you're helping them with?
Yeah, I mean, in my coaching practice, I see a lot of different things. I think, a lot of what I am hearing from people is just burnout and overwhelm. So they are coming with there's just so much to do, and you can feel the kind of anxiety and overwhelm as I'm having those conversations. There's a lot of people who are trying to navigate expectations, self expectations, other expectations, working long hours. It's definitely there. So I feel
Yeah,
like hopefully the book can help people
yeah,
find their way.
it's the expectations, and you start to question. You start to question it, and you start to not care about things that are placed on you, and you get to a point where you think, I'm going to actually do what I want to do, and then how do I turn that into keeping the lights on? Is that a big
Yeah.
one for people?
I mean, I think people are trying to navigate their choices, and it's interesting. I was talking with one of my coaching clients the other day, and she was just saying, I can't keep working this way. And I said, well, what are you doing to support yourself energetically, outside of work? Right, we can't just keep spending our energy on work without refilling the gas tank, so to speak.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I would like to do this one thing, but I don't have time. I would be too overwhelmed if I left for an hour to go do it and then came back. And I said, okay, when go do something for an hour for yourself, you said you feel overwhelmed when you come back. When you don't go do something for yourself, how do you feel? And she said, overwhelmed. I said, okay. So we're feeling overwhelmed either way, then let's, try to do what we can to take care of ourselves, and see how that works. Right. So I think it just gets a little lost of, we're so overwhelmed by the expectations. The tendency is to just keep working harder. But the reality is, if you don't take time for rest and recovery and to do the things that nourish you, especially make connections with people, you just keep digging the hole deeper. So you don't have the energy to approach things in new ways.
And you can't actually even work very well if you are fatigued. And I
Yeah.
always think, like, if I'm working on something, I start to feel myself having struggling to pay attention and making mistakes. I just think, well, that's it. I've got to go and walk the dog or do something, and just it just puts the brakes on, and you can just feel everything get clearer. You've always got to rest. And people say, you know, certain jobs you can easily take an hour, certain jobs and careers you probably couldn't, but there's generally a way you can schedule something in, even if it means getting up earlier. What do most people do? Do you find some people say to you that I literally cannot spare an hour to do something?
They do, and then I might challenge them a little bit to say,
Really?
what's the littlest amount of time, right? Like let's work with. I'm a big fan of Plan D, right? Like what's the littlest amount of time that can meet kind of the satisfaction of I did something for myself. So we often will start there. But I've had people where I say, just put 30 minutes on the calendar on a Friday, right? Like the least busy day for you, whatever day that is, see if it sticks. And then they come back to me and they're like, yeah, it worked. I was like, if we don't be really intentional about it and actually plan for it, then it's less likely to happen, right? But if
Yeah.
we at least start with the planning,
Oh man,
somehow life works around it.
I like what you said. Like, let's just do the smallest thing, and then to me, it's like, what is the smallest thing that you can 100% not quit? Like,
Yeah.
just do something that you will execute, even if it's as small as possible, but you will
Yeah.
do it every time, and then you go, okay, well, at least because if you try and do something every day or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you're going to drop days and then you've failed in your head. And but if you do that one thing, then you go, oh, okay, so now we can do a bit more. But each step, I always say, if I'm not going to be able to fully commit to it, then I'm not
Yeah.
going to do it. And if so, I need to make it small, and then you just kind of gradually build up. That's how I sort of do it. Um,
Yeah.
I was,
And it's fun. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was going to ask, what are some of the favorite or the most effective things that people are doing? Is it
Yeah.
mostly R&R that they're doing, or is it built working on like an escape hatch, or from not life, but from best the job they're in, or what are the most common sort of things you're helping people with specifically?
I mean, I think a lot of it is just helping people find other parts of their identity. So when we are so focused on work just takes up such a big part of their identity. I mean, I know it's a big part of my identity and I'm still working on this, but how can you make time and space for mom, daughter, sister, friend, all of these other identities? And one of my coaching clients, I love her dearly, and she right now is, a few years away from retirement. She's like, I don't know, could be 2 years, could be 7 years. She's kind of at that stage of life where she's kind of figuring it out. She has a really busy job. And so we just started talking about, well, what are some of the things that you could do? Like, can you take a Saturday and just practice for retirement? Just practice getting into that mindset. And she took me up on it. And she was hilarious because she was telling me all about, well, my husband wanted me to do this, but I said I can't. I'm practicing for retirement. But what was amazing about it is just even that one day, not a work day, right? Like we just kind of picked a day where she could test it out. She told me the other day that, she took time to do this crafting activity that she loves. And, I was like, oh my gosh, you did it. And then she was telling me again, well, and then I did this exercise class. I was like, oh my gosh, like we're being in this new way of being. And sometimes it's a little bit of planting that seed around the identity that allows us to start to shift into the activities that support it.
Yeah, it's like you don't know which direction to go, and then until you start it, and then things start to, you understand like, oh, maybe this is not for me, or this
Yeah.
is for me. But just you've got to kind of do something, don't you, to get the wheels turning and it all falls in
Yeah.
place.
And that's exactly what my book is about just starting to take action, because the longer that we're just kind of sitting in the stuckness, the more we feel stuck. And it's just the littlest actions that can really make a big difference.
And is it mostly for people transitioning into retirement, or do you also see people right in the thick of things?
Oh, I work with people at all different stages of career. I think my sweet spot is probably people who are maybe at like 10 years in at a minimum, where they're realizing, okay, I've been doing this, I've been in the rat race, I might have a kid or two now, right? Like you're starting to see life can be something different, but you've only lived the work is my biggest identity life. And so I think that's really where I find people are starting to be more curious and I kind of asking themselves, is this really all there is?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like they've checked off the career thing, like they're
Yeah.
established, they've done it. It's like, okay, well, you're sort of like, what's next, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, the book is called Work Hell to Work Well. And tell us.
Working hell
Oh,
to working
sorry.
well.
Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
Working Hell to Working Well. Very
Yes.
important. You might not find it if you
Yes.
search the wrong thing. And how do you do your coaching? Do you do it online, and how regularly do people see you?
Yeah, so I do actually a variety of coaching. So I do one-on-one coaching, group coaching, team coaching. So a lot of different types of coaching, but it depends. For the most part, the one-on-one coaching is usually virtual, just because that's how we operate
Yeah,
now.
it's virtual. It's much
Yeah,
better.
but
It's like I don't want to have to go somewhere into somebody's
yeah,
office. It's like going to a psychiatrist or
yeah,
something. Not that there's
yeah,
anything wrong with that, but and I
yeah.
think the group coaching is the best
I
personally,
love group coaching. Yes,
because like if you do something like this, you learn so much because you got all these other people doing all these different things, and you're
yes,
learning from the people attending as well. And
yes.
I've been to sort of masterminds and things, and I've just learned so much. I mean, this is not necessarily coaching, but it's the same sort of idea. Like you're
Yeah.
working through problems, and then somebody will have your problem. It just seems to. I just seem to throw up. It throws up so much more
Oh, yes.
solutions working in a group. So that'd be a good one to do. And
Yeah.
if somebody decides they want to give it a try, what should they do?
Just find me. You can find me on LinkedIn or I have a couple websites. I have the one that you thankfully pulled up, which is barnettcoaching.com. And then I also have a ton of resources and, ways to work with me on working hell to workingwell.com as well. So lots of
And
resources
if
there
you're a
too.
bit tentative about doing coaching and reaching out,
Yeah.
but you like what Lindsay's talking about, read the book first of all. I always say that's a good idea because
Yeah.
some people, like me, I will read the book before I talk to
Yeah.
somebody. And you
Yeah.
read the book and then you go, oh, yeah, this is awesome, and I
Yeah.
really understand what she's talking about. So the book Working Hell to Working Well, it's been very successful on Amazon.
Oh.
Um, yeah, when did you put it out?
April 16th.
Excellent. You've got like lots of good reviews.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's great. That's Lindsay Barnett, everybody. Lindsay K. Barnett, Working Hell to Working Well. Thank you very much for joining us today, Lindsay.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No worries. And congratulations on doing very well on the game, which is so important.
Very important.
It is.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks for listening and watching. I'm going to wrap things